Hello, ladies and gents and everyone in between, and welcome to a short review of the second week of 2018. I still have a cold and still sound like shit, so I apologize. Let's jump right in. Last week I talked about the Time's Up initiative, and the Golden Globes was pretty epic on that. Pretty much everybody wore black in recognition of the Time's Up initiative, and a lot of strong women just weren't taking anyone's shit anymore and were calling everybody out. Shout out to Natalie Portman. And although it's not LGBTQ plus specific, it is, it is still something that's important to me and should be important to you as just like a feminist and a decent human being. So I encourage you to go back and watch some of the speeches, especially Oprah's speech was really good, and just enjoy all the movements that are happening now, and look forward to the future. Also, the finale of Runaways was this past week. I did make a reaction video to that, so I will link to that below. We had another great Rainbow Witch moment wherein Nico was the one that came up and kissed Carolina. It was so sweet. The way that Carolina looked at her. Get you a girl that looks at you that way. Get you a person that looks at you that way. I mean, it was just so, yes. And I am not sure, but someone in my comments said that the actress said that it's gonna be a love triangle. I hate love triangles, so not looking forward to that, but we'll have to wait and see. In other interesting news, this didn't necessarily happen in 2018, but I found out about it in 2018, is the new show Grownish on Freeform, which is kind of a spin-off of Blackish, and where Zoe is at college. She has made a new friend named Nomi, who is bisexual, but not out to her family yet. And I'm excited to see where that goes, because bisexual rep is like, ooh, not the best. And so it was really cool to see her, actually voice that she's bisexual, and, see it actually being portrayed in following episodes. Instead of just, it very well could have just been, I'm bisexual, that's it. Oh, we have a bisexual character, everyone knows it, and it just goes to the background. No, she's made references to looking for a guy to have sex with, and she's also introduced the girls to her friend with benefits, who is a woman. So I think that's really awesome, and also sex positive. In other entertainment news, a couple of things that not so cool happened. A show that I don't necessarily watch, some of my friends watch and I've seen articles about it. Star Trek Discovery had a gay couple, but as always happens, they killed one of them off. It's just so exhausting, and I feel so bad for the people that identified with those characters. And I think it's an extra hard blow because the character that died was also a Latino, and so it's just that kind of a double punch to the gut for people. And it just makes it, I just have to roll my eyes and just be like, what are you doing? Because the showrunner apparently himself is gay, and So it's just like, and like in the article that I'll link to below, he says that he knows about the bury your gays trope. So what are you doing? And they also were like, oh, we didn't know that people were gonna connect with these characters so early on. Has he not been in the entertainment industry for any amount of time? The queer fandom community is, we latch on like that. And so I'm frustrated. So I can't even imagine how people that are connected with the show and watch the show and were loved with those characters feel. Obviously it's a sci-fi show, and I've seen a couple people say, there's no way he can be dead. Maybe he's not. But it's still pretty shitty. Also, there's a new show coming out called Rise, which is going to be a musical show and is actually based on a true story of a guy who, he was like a high school music teacher, and he had his students put on Spring Awakening very controversially. And the true story is that this man was a closeted gay man and came out later in life, which is kind of a pretty significant part of the story, and you know, kind of lends a lot as to why he chose Spring Awakening, but the showrunner decided to make him straight in the show so that the showrunner could identify with him more. Get queer writers in your writer's room and have them write for you and like help you along the way in identifying with characters, because there are more elements in people other than their sexuality that you can identify with. People are more than just their sexuality. So that's really frustrating, because you know, it would suck if you know, it was like just a book someone wrote, but it was someone's real life that he's basing this on. And to erase a pretty significant part of that person's identity is really shitty. He says there will be other queer characters, and that's great, but it's just really shitty what he did. In other kind of non-entertainment related news, one of my favorite queer lady lifestyle websites, Autostraddle, has come out with a new series called Lesbian Sex 101, which I think is going to be really awesome, because a lot of people who have lesbian sex maybe aren't as experienced, admittedly, myself included. And so I think it is a good thing to have articles in a series like this that kind of helps people along. You know, people have kind of awkward questions and they don't know where to go to ask them. And so to have a safe space like that is really awesome. So I look forward to reading that. And something really cool is that Washington State, which is where I live, has passed a bill that allows people to change the sex on their birth certificate to X. So that's really cool for gender diverse people who prefer not to identify or disclose their gender identity. And I think that's really freeing for a lot of people. In other gender diverse news, Chelsea Manning is running for Senate in Maryland. If you don't know who Chelsea Manning is, she is a former soldier who leaked hundreds of thousands of confidential documents to WikiLeaks, and had her sentence commuted by Obama right before he left office. Obviously she's very controversial, whether or not you agree with her running. I think that the fact that she is running is really significant. And, you know, obviously we already have the first trans woman to sit in the Senate in Danica Rome, which is like legendary already. And so I think that to have 2 trans women sitting in Senate would be pretty, you know, huge for our country. Unfortunately, not all trans women get the opportunity to even live their full life, let alone run for office. 2 of those women whose lives were cut short already in 2018 are Crystalie Steele-Nutzlian and Vicky Gutierrez. So say their names and remember them. Finally, in, you know, my personal wow, I'm gay moment of the week has to be Hayley Kiyoko's new music. I'm so excited for Lesbian Jesus this year. She released a new music video this week for Curious. I, of course, did a reaction video to it, link below. And I'm just so excited to hear the rest of her album. I'm just so excited to have an unapologetically queer artist making unapologetically queer music for queer people. It's so refreshing and amazing, and I'm obsessed, and you should be too. So go watch the video, watch my reaction if you want to, and pre-order her album. So that's all I have this week. And we're about to start getting real busy on this channel because winter premieres are coming. Monday's Black Lightning, and I will be reacting to that. And Tuesdays is gonna be Supergirl, which I will be reacting to as always. So like and subscribe and let me know what you thought about things I said, things I talked about in this video, or things that you noticed happening during the week that you think people should know about. If during next week you come across something, let me know. Tweet it at me. I have open DMs. Email me, queeryouryear@gmail.com, and let me know the super queer shit that's happening in this, the queerest year of all. Go out and make this year queer, live your best life, and spread the love.